Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Have you ever been told that losing, say, 2 pounds a week is just, well, it's crazy?
Yeah, that it's totally unsustainable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unsustainable, unhealthy, maybe even, I don't know, a pipe dream, unless you're some kind of elite athlete. For years, that's kind of been the common wisdom.
It really has. That idea is everywhere.
But what if the surprising truth, and this is backed by solid science, is actually the complete opposite? What if it's not only possible, but you can actually achieve it in a healthy, genuinely sustainable way without, going to extremes?
Right, without the crash diets or living in the gym.
Yes, because so many of us have this belief, it's almost ingrained, that weight loss has to mean punishment. Deprivation, cutting out everything enjoyable, basically setting up camp at the gym.
That's the picture painted, definitely.
But our source material for this deep dive is called Healthy Weight Loss, a Sustainable Transformation Guide. It really challenges those ideas head on.
It does. It presents a very different approach.
It argues that if you really understand a core concept, the calorie deficit, which is, simply burning more calories than you take in.
The fundamental energy balance.
Right. And then you pair that understanding with balanced nutrition and consistent, but importantly, strategic movement. Well, the guide says you can actually see faster results.
And healthier results, which is key.
Exactly. Faster, more profound results without wrecking your health or your energy levels or, frankly, your sanity. So our mission today is to really dive deep into how this guide redefines what we think is possible.
And what's truly fascinating here, and I think often misunderstood, is the science behind it. It's actually quite clear.
Okay.
To lose 1 kilogram of body fat, that's roughly 2.2 pounds, give or take, your body needs to expend about 7,700 calories more than it consumes.
Wow, okay. 7,700 calories. I mean, that sounds like a massive number.
It does sound daunting when you just hear the number. I know, it makes you think of, running a marathon or eating nothing but celery for weeks.
Right, exactly.
But that's precisely not what the guide is suggesting. That's the misconception.
Uh-huh.
Instead, it really highlights the power of consistent, manageable balance. Applied daily.
Manageable being the key word there, I guess.
Absolutely. This isn't about these huge, unsustainable gestures that you can only keep up for a short time. It's about smart, cumulative adjustments.
So small things adding up.
Exactly. They add up significantly over time, becoming much greater than the sum of their parts. It's about shifting your daily habits in ways that genuinely fit your life.
Not forcing yourself into some crazy restrictive plan.
Precisely. Because those often fail, right? They're just not realistic for most people long term.
So, okay, if that 7,700 calorie figure is the target for, say, 2 pounds lost over a week or so, how does the guide suggest we actually approach that number?
Yeah.
In a way that feels, well, achievable?
Yeah, not overwhelming.
Because I think for a lot of people, that's where the mental block happens. You hear calorie deficit and just instantly think starvation mode.
That's such a critical point, and the guide tackles that directly. It reframes the deficit not as some kind of punishment, but as an opportunity.
An opportunity for what?
For intelligent energy management. It suggests focusing on a daily deficit of maybe around 500 to 750 calories.
Okay, 500 to 750 a day. That sounds less terrifying.
Right, because over 7 days, that adds up to roughly 3,500 to maybe 5,250 calories.
Oh, okay. So that gets you a good chunk of the way towards that 7,700 number for 2 pounds without feeling extreme.
Exactly. You're well on your way towards that potential 2 pound a week target, but without resorting to drastic measures. And the beauty of it, according to the guide, is that this deficit isn't just achieved through, hours of intense exercise or slashing your food intake dramatically.
So how else then?
A large part of it comes from harnessing what the guide calls micro choices and leveraging your body's natural energy burn outside of planned workout.
Micro choices. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting and I think quite empowering. The guide lays out this framework for spotting what it calls hidden opportunities in your day.
Yeah, those little things we often overlook.
Exactly. Those seemingly tiny habits that, when you just tweak them slightly, can actually deliver surprisingly big returns. It's not just generic advice like eat less, move more.
No, it's more personalized.
Right. It helps you pinpoint your specific high-impact areas. For instance, just think about the cumulative effect of one simple swap. Replacing that daily, say, 200-calorie sugary drink with water.
Okay, yeah.
Over a week, that's 1,400 calories saved right there. Boom.
That alone is significant.
Or, like the guide mentions, consistently taking the stairs instead of the elevator, even if it's just for a couple of floors. It might feel minor day to day.
But it adds up.
Yeah, but the guide shows how these small, consistent movements are tapping into something specific. NEAT. Is that right?
Exactly, NEAT. And this is where the deeper science really comes into play.
Okay, tell us about NEAT.
So NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's basically the energy your body uses for everything you do that isn't sleeping, eating, or dedicated exercise.
So like fidgeting, walking around the office.
Precisely. Fidgeting, standing up more, walking to talk to a colleague instead of emailing, carrying your groceries. All of that counts.
Oh, okay.
And get this. Our source reveals that maximizing your NEAT through these small, consistent actions can actually account for some people, up to 15 to 30% of their total daily energy expenditure.
Wait, 15 to 30%? Seriously?
Seriously. For some individuals, that can actually be more calorie burn than they get from a structured hour-long workout session.
Wow. Okay, that reframes things quite a bit.
It really does.
Yeah.
So those extra steps you take, the decision to walk for a short errand instead of hopping in the car, maybe even just standing at your desk for part of the day, they aren't trivial at all.
They're strategically adding to the deficit.
Exactly. They contribute to that calorie deficit without demanding extra gym time or a huge amount of mental effort. Which, raises a really interesting question for everyone listening.
Yeah.
What seemingly minor habits are already part of your day that maybe, just maybe, you could slightly amplify to boost your NEAT?
That's a powerful way to think about it, that compounding effect of NEAT.
Yeah.
It makes those little choices feel suddenly much more strategic, less like a drop in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
But, I can almost hear some listeners thinking, okay, I've tried making small changes before, like parking further away or taking the stairs, and I still struggle to see results.
That's a common frustration, absolutely.
Does the guide offer insights into why that happens? Or how to actually sustain these small shifts so that compounding power kicks in?
It does, yeah. The guide really emphasizes that the key to making these shifts stick lies in a couple of core principles, mainly habit stacking and awareness.
Okay, habit stacking, what's that?
So instead of trying to, completely reinvent your routine all at once, which is often overwhelming.
Yeah, that never works for me.
Right. You identify a habit you already do consistently without thinking about it, like making your morning coffee.
Okay.
And then you stacked a small new desired behavior onto it. So the rule becomes, every time I finish my morning coffee, I'll immediately walk around the block once.
Linking the new habit to an existing one.
Exactly. It uses the established habit as a trigger. And the awareness part comes from really paying attention, consciously noticing the immediate positive feedback you get.
Like feeling more alert after that walk.
Precisely. More energy, maybe better digestion later, a clearer head. You focus on those immediate benefits, not just the distant goal of weight loss. It helps build this positive feedback loop.
Okay, that makes sense. Reinforcing the behavior with immediate rewards.
Exactly. It connects the action to feeling good now, which makes you want to do it again. And this focus on awareness naturally leads us to another really crucial aspect the guide highlights.
Which is?
Mindful eating.
Yes, you're right. The guide really dives deep into this, saying that portion control and mindful eating are just as important, maybe even more critical, than the specific food choices themselves.
It shifts the focus from just what to how.
Exactly. It's not just what you put on your plate, but how you actually eat it. The recommendation is to eat slowly.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Slowly, and really tune in to your body's own hunger and fullness cues.
Trying to understand when you're genuinely satisfied, not just waiting until you feel completely stuffed.
Yes, avoiding that autopilot eating we often do. And of course, staying consistently hydrated plays a big role too.
Right. The guide suggests that doing these things, eating slowly, listening to your body, hydrating, can actually change how your metabolism works for you.
Instead of feeling like it's fighting against you.
Yeah. Which is how it feels sometimes, doesn't it?
It really can. And what's fascinating here is the direct physiological link. There's real science behind why mindful eating impacts metabolic efficiency.
Okay, tell me more about that connection.
Well, when you deliberately take the time to eat slowly with awareness, you give your body the time it needs to register satiety signals.
Satiety signals, like
Yeah.
feeling full.
Exactly. These are natural cues, both hormonal, like CCK or leptin release from your gut, and neural signals going to your brain. They basically say, okay, we've had enough fuel.
And eating fast overrides those signals.
It often does. Your brain doesn't get the message in time, so you keep eating past the point of actual fullness. Eating slowly allows that signaling process to actually work properly. It's far more effective than just relying on, cleaning your plate or visual cues.
So it naturally helps prevent overeating just by giving your body time to communicate.
Correct. And crucially, it also seems to allow for better nutrient absorption. When your digestion is less rushed, your body can extract and utilize nutrients more effectively.
Which helps your metabolism how?
Well, optimizing nutrient absorption helps optimize your overall metabolic processes. It helps regulate key hormones involved in hunger and energy storage, like insulin and ghrelin, the hunger hormone.
Ah, ghrelin. Heard of that one.
Right. So mindful eating helps turn down the volume on those constant hunger pangs and cravings. It shifts your metabolism towards being more efficient at using the nutrients you consume and burning stored fat for energy, rather than being in constant storage mode.
So it's really about getting back in tune with your body's internal systems, letting them work optimally instead of constantly short-circuiting them with rushed, distracted eating at our desks.
That's a great way to put it. And I imagine, as the guide probably points out, this approach also helps with things like emotional eating triggers.
It does. It specifically links mindful eating with emotional regulation.
How so?
It suggests that by simply slowing down the act of eating, you create a pause, a buffer zone between feeling an emotion, stress, boredom, sadness, and that immediate impulse to reach for food.
Giving you a chance to ask, what do I really need right now?
Exactly. Is it comfort? Is it a break? Is it connection? You can then try to address that underlying need more effectively, maybe with something other than food. That kind of self-awareness is really foundational for lasting change, according to the guide.
Absolutely fundamental. It's moving beyond just calories in, calories out.
Definitely. So, okay, we've talked about food choices, NEAT, mindful eating. Now, the guide also pivots pretty powerfully to the role of movement. But it makes a really compelling case that you absolutely do not need to be some kind of super athlete.
Yeah, no need for hours grinding away at the gym.
Right. It stresses that you don't need that to use movement as a serious accelerator for your progress. The source points out that even simple activities can dramatically amplify your results.
Like what specifically?
Things like consciously making an effort to just walk more throughout your day, going for a relaxed bike ride, even just dancing around your living room to your favorite song.
Hey, whatever gets you moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or doing a quick, focused 20-minute workout at home. It argues that consistency and finding activities you actually enjoy are key.
Making it feel less like a chore.
Yes, more like just a natural part of living your life.
And this really ties back beautifully to what we were saying about NEAT, doesn't it?
How so?
The guide encourages us to see movement not just as this isolated block of time called exercise, but as something fundamental to how our bodies are designed to work. Something we've kind of engineered out of modern life with cars and desks and screens.
That's true. We sit a lot.
We do. So the guide suggests incorporating what it calls movement snacks.
Movement snacks. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Short bursts of activity sprinkled throughout the day, a quick walk around the block, some jumping jacks, climbing stairs.
A little energy boost.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is, when you combine these smaller bursts, for many people, they can actually have a greater positive metabolic impact than one single longer exercise session.
Really? Why is that?
Because they keep your metabolism slightly elevated more consistently throughout the day. They break up those long stretches of sitting, which can really slow down metabolic function. Even something as simple as a 5-minute walk every hour can significantly improve your daily calorie burn and help regulate blood sugar.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. It's about weaving activity into the fabric of the day, not just trying to cram it into one slot.
Precisely, integrating vitality, as you said.
And the guide is really clear that this isn't just about the food and the movement, viewed in isolation. It takes a truly holistic view.
Which is so important.
It emphasizes that adding in other pieces like getting proper restorative sleep, actively managing your stress levels, and staying consistently hydrated will make you notice the difference much faster than you might think.
It's the synergy effect.
Yes. It's how all these factors work together that really unlocks those faster, healthier results.
And that holistic perspective is crucial because, as the guy explains, each of these elements directly impacts the others. They form a feedback loop.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about sleep. If you're consistently not getting enough quality sleep, it can disrupt your key hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin.
Making you feel hungrier.
Exactly. You feel hungrier, less satisfied after eating, and you're often more drawn to high-calorie, less nutritious foods. So poor sleep directly undermines your efforts with nutrition.
Okay, I see the connection.
Similarly, chronic stress leads to higher levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. And elevated cortisol can actually signal your body to store more fat, particularly around the abdomen.
The belly fat.
Right. And then hydration, often overlooked, but it's fundamental. Water is involved in pretty much every single metabolic process, nutrient transport, waste removal. It even helps you feel fuller.
So if you're dehydrated, everything just works less efficiently.
Basically, yes. So the guide doesn't just mention these things. It offers practical, actionable strategies for improving sleep, managing stress, staying hydrated. It shows how optimizing just one of these areas can create positive ripple effects across the others.
Creating like a virtuous cycle for weight loss and just overall health.
Exactly, a positive feedback loop instead of a negative one.
So thinking about all this, what does it really mean for you, the listener? Take a second and really think about it. What would actually change in your day-to-day life if you had more consistent energy? You know, that vibrant feeling, if you felt lighter on your feet, and if you finally started seeing that consistent, tangible progress on the scale that maybe has felt elusive.
How would that impact things?
Yeah. Would it boost your confidence?
Yeah.
Just how you feel walking into a room, how you interact with people. Would it give you more freedom?
Freedom to do what?
Freedom to just fully enjoy activities, maybe with your family or friends, going on that hike, playing with your kids in the park, traveling somewhere new without feeling held back by physical limitations or feeling self-conscious.
Those are powerful motivators.
For sure. And the point the guide makes, and what we've tried to unpack here, is that this isn't some kind of magical formula. It's not a secret held by a few.
No quick fixes or miracle cures.
Right. What healthy weight loss, a sustainable transformation guide really lays out, is just well understood science, applied meticulously but simply to everyday life.
Making it practical.
Exactly. It offers a clear path, and yes, maybe even a genuine shortcut, to truly transforming not just your body, but your overall well-being, using just a few simple, conscious steps each day.
Leveraging those smart choices and physiological principles so they work for you, not against you.
So today we've really unpacked what feels like a clear and genuinely sustainable path to healthy weight loss. We've emphasized balance over extremes, haven't we?
Definitely. Balance over extremes.
We talked about the surprising power of those small, consistent shifts, like optimizing your NEAT.
Those movement snacks.
Yeah, and the really profound impact of mindful eating on how efficiently your metabolism can work. This deep dive into the guide has hopefully shown that faster, sustainable change and real transformation are absolutely within reach.
When you understand the why behind the what.
Exactly, when you get the underlying mechanisms.
And this, I think, raises a really important question for you to reflect on now. Given everything we've discussed, particularly maybe around NEAT or the power of mindful eating, what's one common belief or assumption you've personally held about weight loss that you now feel challenged to reconsider?
That's a good question. What old idea maybe needs an update?
And digging a bit deeper, as you think about your own journey, your own potential struggles, maybe it's making healthy food choices consistently. Maybe it's feeling like there's just no time for movement, or perhaps it's managing daily stress. Which of those feels like your biggest hurdle?
Identifying that main sticking point.
Right. And then how might one of the specific strategies we've talked about today, whether it's habit stacking or understanding those satiety signals better or finding ways to sneak in movement snacks, how might one of those offer you a fresh perspective? Or maybe even a powerful new starting point for tackling that specific challenge?
Because remember, the time to really take control, start feeling better in your body and improving your health, it isn't some far off one day. It's not tomorrow or next week.
The opportunity is now.
It's right now. So what small, conscious, but potentially powerful step will you take today to start harnessing these principles we've explored?